Good Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and of course, today we're still talking about the potential for a major winter storm across the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia I-95 corridor for Friday night right through Sunday morning. This is the video forecast discussion for Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2016. We'll start off with the minimum temperatures across the region, especially New Jersey this morning. Just before sunrise, temperatures generally either side of 20 degrees. And right now, if we can pull this up, the latest current temperatures are rising into the low and mid-20s, mid and upper 20s in the urban centers here. Factoring a little bit of the gusty winds that are still out there, not as bad as they were yesterday. The temperatures feel like they're in the teens to lower 20s across the region this morning. A lot better than it was at this time yesterday morning. National perspective this morning, here's our deep low across Newfoundland and Labrador here moving away. The isobars are becoming less densely packed together. That means the winds are generally dying down. High pressure is in control here of our forecast region. Still a little bit of snow coming off the lakes. It's a cold morning nonetheless. And we have this system coming in towards Louisiana and Arkansas this morning, spreading a light swath of some light snow across Knoxville and Kentucky and Louisville and northern Indiana. This will begin to minor out as it makes its way across the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, and there won't be much left of it by the time it crosses late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, here is our storm system that is developing. This is now all of these factors, the Arctic and polar disturbances here are generally now in RAOB data, so that should be sampled better this morning, and tonight's runs at 12Z and 0Z respectively to tell us exactly where this potential nor'easter is going as we head in through Friday night and Saturday across the forecast region. And it's chilly this morning. Temperatures are generally in the 40s in southern Georgia and northern Florida. There are some hard freeze warnings down in these regions as well. Of course, the national hazards this morning are the hard freezes in southern Georgia, northern panhandle of Florida, just north of Orlando and Tampa this morning. So there's a little bit of, vegetation that might be ruined under those conditions if they're not properly covered. And here we have the light snow winter storm watch. Ends at 1 a.m. on Sunday. They've already put the winter storm watches here in through the Virginias through Sunday morning. Back here, this is still in an advisory through Thursday a.m. for winter weather associated with this disturbance here. And of course, we still have all the flooding on the Mississippi River, which is still ongoing from over a month ago now. And basically, for our New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, we've got basically just gale warnings in effect, or the small craft advisories in effect till 1 on the South Shore and east ends of Long Island, and until the North Shore until 1 o'clock this afternoon, and around 1 p.m. this afternoon again across the New Jersey and Delaware Bay area. And on the aviation weather deck for today, basically VFR conditions should continue through the period. Lower end VFR clouds around 4,000 feet, possible across portions of northwestern areas through midday. Mid-level clouds around 7,000 or 8,000 feet moving in after late this afternoon. And there's also that chance of about a 20 or 30% chance of a snow shower moving over the TAF sites late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And if any snow showers move over the TAF site, brief MVFR conditions can be expected, but the ceilings will generally lift, and the highest risk of snow showers right now will be at around Wilmington and at Millville and Atlantic City. Winds will continue to diminish through the day, with speeds staying at or below 10 knots and generally staying west to northwesterly. Thursday, VFR northwest winds 10 to 20 knots, diminishing at night. Friday through Saturday, high confidence that a major winter storm impacts our region. Low confidence in the details naturally occurring. Clouds increase quickly lower Friday, then widespread IFR and limited IFR conditions develop, with snow arriving late in the day Friday and beyond. There should be a chance for a mix of plain rain in Atlantic City and Millville for a time late Friday night and Saturday, and the sleet possibly mixing up to Wilmington and Philadelphia. Any mixed precipitation or rain should then change back to snow as we go through the day on Saturday. There is the potential for significant snow accumulations through late Saturday for all areas, but especially from Philadelphia's metro south and southwest. Northeast winds increase to 15 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30 knots, higher gusts at Atlantic City and lower at Allentown and Reading. Then becoming north on Saturday, gradually improving conditions Saturday night. However, there is still uncertainty on the duration of the snow. On Sunday, any sub-VFR conditions in the morning improve to VFR as the storm moves further away. Northwest winds also diminish from 10 to 15 knots with gusts into the 20 to 25 knot range. A lot of weather to go through over the next couple of days. Right now, we'll do this one. Outside of Kennedy International this morning, 29, dew point 15, humidity 56%, wind northwest 14, visibility 10. A few clouds at around 4100, wind chill 18 degrees, VFR conditions in place. Newark this morning, 27, dew point 16, humidity 63%. The wind is variable at 6, that's better. A few clouds at 3500 this morning, VFR conditions in place. And right now, outside of Philadelphia, 24, dew point 10, humidity 54%, wind is west at 7, clear skies. VFR conditions in place. Okay, we'll take a look at the NAM composite reflectivity forecast going ahead through Saturday morning. This is off the Tropical Tidbit site. It's the 4-kilometer grid point spread here. Here's our disturbance moving through basically the upper Mississippi Valley, Ohio River Valley area. It begins to minor out, as mentioned, showing up on the composite here as well as it crosses over the mountain. So just a few clouds around the region from time to time, and then out of here that goes. And here comes our next system here. These are all of our disturbances, and here comes the low pressure developing in the Gulf here, in the Arklatex region, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi Panhandle here, as we head into the early stages of Thursday night and Friday morning. And then the swath of precipitation begins to break out. Clouds begin to increase across the forecast region. High clouds first through Friday, and then the clouds lower and thicken, and precipitation develops and moves in Friday afternoon well to the south of the forecast region. So most of our area should be completely dry, and the snow probably won't be getting in here until around midnight or after on Friday. Then we extrapolate that out using the GFS precipitation and heights here across the surface chart here across the forecast region through Friday. Cold air damming in place, so precipitation begins to break out through the Virginias. There's already a winter storm watch in effect for these portions here through Saturday, and they'll probably be expanded as we head into the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area, probably sometime late tonight or early tomorrow morning at the latest, I would think, because we're almost 100% sure that we're going to have a winter storm, but there's still details to monitor in terms of the type of precipitation and also the duration of the precipitation event and the amounts. Obviously, a lot of these things will be determined as we go through the later model cycles, but pretty sure or confident that this storm will pretty much rapidly deepen across the tidewater and the coastal plain of the Delmarva, or just south of the Delmarva region, the tidal areas here of Virginia. And as it does so, it's going to spread a swath of snow. Moderate to heavy snow could be falling in parts of the region depending on where the deformation zone is on the northwest side of the storm. And there could be a considerable amount of wind across the coastal regions, and there's already an astronomical high tide with the full moon cycle this weekend, so tidal concerns, and of course the friction, the further north and west you go inland away from that, would probably weaken the actual wind component. But along the south shore and east ends of Long Island and coastal New Jersey, we could be dealing with some coastal flooding at times of high tide, and also some beach erosion as well as the moderate snow. And some of the snow could be coming down throughout most of the day on Saturday with varying intensities depending on where all of this goes before the model guidance begins to shift it further to the east. But that's not really until early to mid Sunday morning, so there could be a substantial amount of snowfall across our entire forecast region. Now we're using the GFS, but even if we looked at, again, the CMC, the NAV-GEM model, some of the other mesoscale models and global models, as well as the European model guidance and also the ensembles, are pretty much staying in line with the forecast conditions of moderate to heavy precipitation across the region, anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches. And of course, where the heavier banding occurs during this storm will determine who gets what. Now, to give you an overall idea on the European model guidance, this is preliminary off of last night's site. Notice the sharp drop-off or gradient here between moderate to heavy snow across portions of our region and very heavy snow from, let's say, Ocean County here down through just south of Trenton and towards the Philadelphia metropolitan area, and then down through the I-95 corridor here. So Baltimore, Washington, D.C. could be in moderate to heavy bands of snow by the time we get to Monday, and all of these totals are subject to change and possibly shift a little bit further to the north or a little bit further to the south, depending on the actual location and where the banding sets up. The Canadian GEM model guidance is pretty similar to the GFS and European model guidance, and seeing that swath of very heavy snow and the heavier deformation banding that it's showing here in the model guidance to be through, let's say, Ocean County, New Jersey, points just to the south of Interstate 80 and 78 and along the path into southwestern Pennsylvania, and of course the I-95 corridor, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., area. Lesser amounts further to the north and to the south, where there could be some mixing here, especially along the coast before everything transitions back to snow as the storm gets going again by Saturday morning. Another example here is the GFS from this morning's run. Again, we're not going to have a true sampling of all of this data until this morning's model runs are completed at 12Z, so we'll have a better idea of this by the afternoon and definitely by tonight and tomorrow morning at the very latest. So we know that we're going to be impacted with a very strong nor'easter here and a potentially dangerous first season winter storm for the northern mid-Atlantic region on Friday night right through Sunday morning. So it behooves you to definitely get ahead of yourself and prepare for the storm, the things that you're naturally going to need if you're not going to be able to travel across the forecast region on Saturday, because I don't think that many places, many people will be traveling on Saturday across the entire New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia I-95 corridor. And of course, we'll be monitoring everything live on Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus as we normally do, and on both websites, GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be back in video form tomorrow morning with greater details and honing in on this nor'easter forecast for Friday night through Sunday. And of course, we're going to be going live. We are naturally 24/7 live on both websites, but we're going to be going live also on Facebook as well through the event beginning Friday night right through Sunday morning. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Be safe and warm out there. We'll see you bright and early on Thursday morning.